Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we're doing over here, baby. Let's go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? And one and only James Williams, Dark Waters, and I'm back. Hopefully things are going well for you guys. Let's get into our video for the day. I want to touch upon some things that, quite frankly, and I'm going to go through a bunch of news, but I want to touch upon the spiritual warfare that's playing out in the news media right now that everybody is ignoring because we're focused on the 100 days of President Donald Trump, which in my opinion, he did a great job in 100 days. It does not even feel like 100 days because there's been so much war for the heart of our nation over this 100 days that the days go by quickly. And the reason they go by so quickly is because if you're paying attention, you're seeing each punch and each blow that's being landed. And I would say in 100 days, he has decimated the deep state. I mean, completely decimated the deep state, completely destroyed the Democratic Party, which would be the radical leftist Democratic Party, which is the most demonized party, the demonized portion of the Democratic Party. I know we like to say that the Democrats are Democrats, but when you really chunk down and get deep into it, it's the radical left that are the demon-possessed people. If you don't believe me, I'll start to show you these things. But I want to say something else that's very important. As we see them fighting for the ability to be in classrooms with kids and teach those kids things that are anti-biblical, it's important to understand that what we're fighting against is their ability to bewitch our children. Words create realms. And if I go into a classroom as a kid where my teacher is telling me that as a boy, I'm a girl, and as a girl, I'm a boy, there's a realm created inside of that classroom where those words plant seeds and take root in the lives of children. And we see it in the news. We see it in the news. And then when you come into agreement with the radical leftism, you actively take that seed. If I'm not mistaken, somebody's son today, I think it was Woody Harrelson, his son came out at 39 years old and said that he's transgender. You 39 years old, dog. I mean, you 39 years old. You ain't 17, you ain't 15. Now, you got the right to be whatever you want to be. I'm not contending against the person's right. You're a grown man. And I prefer for a grown man to say, make that decision than a child. But you grown, dog. You decided at 39, maybe 29. You decided at 29 years old, you're going to change who you are. That's you know, that's something spiritual. But nonetheless, let's get into the warfare in the news. Make sure this is going to show up on the screen like I wanted to. Yes, I finally have got my format the correct way. And let me go back. Let me go back one. One of the things that I should have started doing this earlier, but I started mapping the things that I've been seeing. And the reason why I started mapping them is because the way my brain works, I'll sit there and read the news and I'm like, this connects to this and 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 then this leads to this. But I will forget the map because there'll be other things that would happen. So I started mapping it just for my research sake and your research sake, right? All right, let's get back to the news. Premier League winner Liverpool set to be punished by UK's Football Association after displaying "I Belong to Jesus" shirt when scoring a goal in the final game. If you want to know why the UK itself is going through what it's going through, because the UK is in extreme spiritual warfare. And that's why the UK is currently being conquered. Remember, Keir Starmer is the Prime Minister of the UK, and we see this Islamic invasion going on in the UK, and they've opened their borders to allow those people to come in under the guise of it's racist to have closed borders. It's insensitive to have closed borders. Well, if you were to go back, I mean, a couple of hundred years ago, people had this common knowledge and understanding that certain cultures don't mix. And so they would prevent the mixing of those cultures. Not necessarily the mixing of those races, but the cultures. And what's been done by the left is they've taken race and replaced it with culture and then saying you're racist if you don't accept this culture. And so that's the reason why UK is under judgment, and that's the reason why the UK has fallen, honestly. It's not unusual to see a soccer player score two goals at once, and that's just what happened in British Prime League in the match where the champions Liverpool massacred Tottenham Hotspur 5-1. Dutch forward Cody Gakpo scored Liverpool's third goal in the match and proceeded to reveal his undershirt with the words "I belong to Jesus," where the words "I belong to Jesus" were visible to millions watching the match around the world in an even greater goal. Of course, United Kingdom being as is, Liverpool is set to reprimand him by the Football Association for Gakpo's actions. I want you to understand something. When I said this about Shador Sanders and the Sanders family, and I'll say this about the same guy. Everything that you saw going on with Shador Sanders had to do with the Sanders spiritual alignment. Not, of course, people hate on Dion. Yeah, of course, people hate on Dion. Of course, people don't like the fact that they flash. In fact, I had some clowns say, "Well, DW, sons of gods don't wear diamonds." You sound like a fool. The exalted cherubim, Lucifer himself, was made of precious jewels and diamonds before he fell. And it's this purism test from the side of people who profess to be Christians that actually allows the kingdom of darkness to attack our fellow brothers and sisters. I have diamonds. I don't wear them anymore. I have diamond watches. I don't wear them. If you ever notice, I don't even wear a watch anymore. The reason why I don't wear my jewelry anymore is because I was so deep into materialism that I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to touch materialism anymore. So that's the decision I've made. But if I was to go and get my diamonds and get my diamond watch, real jewelry, and someone say, "Well, DW, you're not a son of God because you got a $40,000 chain on and you got a Rolex watch with a diamond bezel," that doesn't change my spiritual alignment with the Lord. It's a decision that I made. But when we as Christians come to understand this fake purity test crap that we have going around, which is, oh, that person doesn't meet my idea what purity means. Your idea what purity means don't matter. What matters is the Lord's idea of purity, what he believes holiness is. And I said it about them, and I'll say it about this guy. Anytime you exalt the name of Jesus Christ, there shall be persecution. And the higher level you're on, and you exalt that name, the higher level of persecution. If you notice, the Sanders family, when he got drafted, put on gospel music and started dancing. Don't believe me? Watch this. Hold on. Now I got to go off script. Now I got to go off script. YouTube, open up the tube, baby. Shador Sanders celebrates. It's him, his brother, his mama. That's when they signed Shiloh.
You know, I got my other brother right here too. It's not gonna be.
camera. I don't even got Wi-Fi in here.
Come on, Browns. Man, who they got?
Make sure this actually playing because sometimes the audio acts stupid.
Traded the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shador.
They must have not wanted to get the copyright because they cut the music out. No, all the sound went out. Okay, all the sound went out. So they must have cut the music out so they don't get the copyright. Let me see if I can.
Select Shador Sanders.
That dance, if you listen, matter of fact, don't believe me, go look it up yourself. If you look very closely, you go find the video. It's in the shorts feed. You're going to hear church organ music playing, like hardcore gospel clapping music. And they start dancing, doing the Jewish dance and all the rest of this craziness. But the point I'm making is this. If a person exalts the name Jesus, they're going to be persecuted. That's just how it works. I mean, that the whole world is going to be against you the same way the whole world was against him. And we have to remember these things when we see it happening to our brothers and sisters, like this gentleman, that's a time when you pray for that person because they actually did what they're supposed to do. The blessings that's going to come from the persecution that's happening to him are going to be great. And that's what I was pointing out as it pertains to the consecration that the Sanders family was going through in that moment for greatness. That's, I mean, point blank, period. That's what it takes. That's what you go through. Because remember, Christ was persecuted, he went through death, and then finally he was exalted. It's what you go through. It's the system. It's how it's set up. It's the rules of engagement. How do I know? Because I went through the same thing. So I know what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, when we start looking at warfare, we'll see things like this. And then there's these other aspects of warfare that are going on in our nation, like this. Give me a second. Open up. Radical California Democrats block legislation to make sex trafficking of minors a felony. And so when you see things like this, you know that it's war. Who blocks legislation to make sex trafficking of minors a felony? Who says, hey, let's get together and we're going to make sure that sex trafficking is not a felony? And this shows you how deep the demonic penetration has gotten into our nation. Because in the legal system, it's being fought. And then when you see the flags in their court, I mean, in their legislature, look, boom, boom. But I'll say this, the reason why we got to this point is because many of us Christians, and I say us, have gotten to the point to where we're cowards. And so we don't speak out on things. We won't sit there and say, hey, bruh, all that foolishness y'all talking about is ridiculous. We're not doing that. And so now what we're seeing across the United States is we gotten to the point to where people are starting to push back on it. And that group of leftists are losing their mind. The radical leftists are losing their mind. In the Democratic Party, you got greedy criminals, right? I mean, and then also in the rhinos are greedy criminals. Boss hogs. You know what I'm saying? People are like, yeah, I want all the money. I want to be rich. And I want all the power. And honestly, it's kind of the It's the nature of that boss hog personality that boss hog wants all the power and all the money. But boss hogs understand that there's a system that has to stay in place in order for them to keep prospering. Now they steal, they exploit, they do all the other things, but they typically don't break the system, right? They just don't break the system because breaking the system means that they don't get their money no more. So you got that right wing, left wing, same bird, which is the boss hogs. You got the eagle, which is the MAGA party. Then you got this damn demonic raven that's on the back of the right wing, left wing, same bird with a damn Tesla brain chip in it, trying to steer it. And this is that demonic damn raven. Straight up. California is so lost that far left Democrats would apparently prefer to let some children be exploited by sexual predators rather than to get tougher on crime. As Breitbart reported, Democrats in the state assembly on Monday blocked legislation that will have made the trafficking of minors a felony. In an interesting twist, the bill is being sponsored by State Assembly member Maggie Krill, a Democrat from Sacramento. It would apply to children ages 16 and 17. It don't even apply to all the children, just 16 and 17. But our colleagues have decided they want prosecutors to have discretion. Many of these prosecutors have been backed by the communist George Soros and have refused to enforce criminal laws in the name of criminal justice reform and equity. That's the thing that gets me about equity. Remember, it's diversity, equity, inclusion. That's the thing that gets me about the DEI thing. DEI has been triggered and been like, this is DEI, and they put black skin on it. DEI is blackface for wickedness. And that's what it boils down to. It's blackface for wickedness. And nobody seems to understand that that's all it is. They put black skin on wickedness and then use the emotions of people, both white and black, to say, oh, you're hurting black people and underprivileged people. And then slide in every form of wickedness there is. And the interesting thing about California is we've seen the judgments of the Lord hit California. We saw the massive fires, and people say, well, DW, that was dew weapons. Yeah, it could have been dew weapons. But for the person who was in that house that lost everything, you think they was like, oh yeah, the dew weapons hit. No, they lost everything. Ain't no dew weapons hit Louisiana. Ain't no damn dew weapons hit Texas. Ain't no dew weapons hit Florida. Judgment. Then earthquakes. Remember, we went through the earthquakes in California? You gotta understand, when states make these kind of dumb decisions, there's punishment for it. Anyway, Californians, even radical left jurisdictions, have finally wised up and started removing these criminal enablers. But this does not matter to the radicals running the Golden State. Krill revealed to KCRA that her bill was pulled from the Assembly Public Safety Committee's agenda last week after expecting it to be heard on Tuesday. I was told that it was pulled, and the only way I could get it back on the agenda is if parts of the bill were blocked, said Krill. Assemblyman Nick Schultz, the Democratic chair of the Public Safety Committee, said Krill's bill would move forward without the proposed felony charges. He used a compromise bill approved late last year to tackle child trafficking as an excuse for blocking his Democratic colleagues' legislation. My perspective as chair, there was a carefully crafted deal last year. So Schultz told KCRA, we're not saying no, but we're saying is if we're going to be thoughtful policymakers, we really need to do a deep dive into this issue. What deep dive do you need to do into the issue of child trafficking? That's a yes or no issue. It should be a felony and executable by death for trafficking children in our nation. Point blank, period. And it goes back to what I was saying before. See, words are powerful. And everything, it supports what I was saying about words creating realms. So the words that they're using legally are literally creating legal realms in which child trafficking will be fine. Yeah, I can traffic a kid that's 16, 17-year old, and it's not going to be a felony. I don't know. Y'all may not be getting what I'm saying. Next thing. Watch this one. Naked child images seized by police returned to Texas art exhibit. ACLU hails victory. Now, if you ain't figured out the ACLU is a problem yet, then many of the biggest issues we have is the ACLU in the United States of America. The ACLU of Texas is celebrating First Amendment victory after the Fort Worth Police Department returned photographs by acclaimed artist Sally Mann to the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth months after they seized them in January. The police removed 4 photographs from the Diaries of Home exhibit by photographer Sally Mann at the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth in late December over allegation that the exhibit promoted child pornography. The Dansbury Institute, a nonpartisan association of evangelical churches based in Dallas, that first brought attention to the exhibit, shared an update on February 11th, announcing that the seized photographs remained in police custody as the investigation continued. The group called the seizure a direct result of public pressure and God's faithfulness in answering prayers. After grand jury in March declined to take action on the controversial exhibit, the Progressive Civil Rights Organization announced the artwork was returned to the museum. The case should have never gotten this far, the ACLU Texas said April 24th. It's shameful that government officials would use a criminal legal process to censor art and expression. We applaud our First Amendment rights that have prevailed here. The Diaries of Home exhibition, which closed February 2nd, featured 13 women and LGBT-identified artists exploring themes of families, community, and home. The museum's website warned that the show contained mature themes that may be sensitive to some viewers. While the exhibit includes... Uh-oh. Let me stretch that out. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. While this exhibit includes work from multiple artists, it was Mann's photographies that stirred public outrage with images like Wet the Bed, featuring a young naked girl asleep and lying in a puddle, Popsicle Drips, which depicted a nude boy with liquid running down his body, and The Perfect Tomato, which depicts a completely naked girl jumping on a table, according to Danbury Institute. In response to the ACLU's announcement, Soraya Coulter, Chief Communications Officer of the Danbury Institute, told CP that the group's decisions to frame a grotesque display like Diaries of Home, which included images of real human children's genitalia, as a work of art and freedom of expression, is an affront to the just and righteous nature of our First Amendment. In an open letter dated December 28, Coulter condemned the exhibit, calling it disturbing, exploitative, and inappropriate. These images are presented under the guise of art, but in reality, they sexualize children and exploit their innocence, Coulter wrote. The exhibit should be called what it is, child pornography. Now, let's just say this. We know that when we started talking about Epstein back in the day, the child pornography artwork hit the scene. But it was hidden. You know, it was all over 4chan, and they were talking about it, and they were showing the little exhibits with the kids tied up. And now these demonic people have brought it to the forefront where they put it out publicly. You want to know why they do this? Because they want to piss in your face. Yeah. They want to piss in your face and make you take it. And they say, oh, no, this is my First Amendment right to free speech. This is art. Now, watch this. If we can't protect children as a nation, and we don't even stand for children as a nation, then the punishment that comes is going to be, it's going to be horrific, because we refuse to stand up for children. So these organizations did stand up, but it's the ACLU that came in with the backing, with the money, and said, okay, no, we're going to take this to court. But this is the warfare that's going on right in front of everybody's face. This kind of stuff doesn't hit the mainstream media news. You want to know why? Because if the average person saw this or heard about this, they'd be like, that's ridiculous. But these are the things that's suppressed by our media while they go on to defend child rapists. So you wonder why the Democratic Party is sitting there saying, oh, Albrega Garcia is the best person on things since sliced bread. Yeah, because this is the currency of that extreme leftist aspect of that party. This is what they stand for. And there's no way to get around it. Then we get to the deeper issue. Watch this. Activists invent Satanology religion in attempt to stop cities from flying Christian flags. The LGBT activist is always some LGBT, right? And self-proclaimed atheist is pushing for lawmakers in Connecticut, capital, and 4 other cities to fly the flag of his non-existent organization after a Christian flag was approved for display. Last week, the Hartford City Council voted 7-2 in favor of flying a white flag with a red cross during Holy Week, which they have flown for the past several years, according to a local NBC affiliate. In response, Timothy Chaz Stevens of Florida reportedly sent emails to Hartford and 4 other cities in Connecticut threatening legal action and demanding a banner promoting the Church of Satanology and perpetual sorry be flown as well. Let's just keep it real. When the founding fathers were talking about freedom of religion, they weren't talking about no damn Satanism. And until we get to the point to where we say, hey, screw you and screw this, and stop even entertaining this foolishness, we're going to keep on giving them inch by inch by inch by inch by inch by inch, because wickedness moves in inches until it gets enough territory. Then it moves in feet. Then when it moves in feet, it moves in yards. Then once it starts using and moving in yards, now it's moving in miles. And that's what they've done, progressively moved us inch by inch by inch till they got feet. Then they went from feet to yards, and now they're taking strides that are miles in this nation. And then when you undo what they're doing, they cry and whine and become violent because they're demons. Demon-possessed people. I'm sorry. It's not clear whether Stevens Church of Satanology is an actual organization. A search by a Christian Post on the state's website did not locate any organization or filing recorded for that name. Likewise, a general search organization for the organization did not appear on any major search engines. Under state law, 3 or more persons uniting for public worship may form a religious corporation and or religious society. The push for flying the Satanology flag comes after several Connecticut cities flew the Christian flag, including New Britannia, located about 9 miles southwest of Hartford, which raises the flag in the annual ceremony on April 19. Mayor Aaron Stewart shared the event on social media and said the flag raising served as a special moment to reflect on my own faith and strength and courage and resilience that's provided through my life. Other cities like Bridgeport and Waterbury also had similar Christian flag raising events. On his website, Stevens offers a Church of Satanology 3-foot by 5-foot flag with a tagline reading, "Satan loves the First Amendment." And there's the flag. And see, the problem is we put up with this foolishness. As a nation, we put up with it instead of just crushing it. We put up with it. And so once you start putting up with wickedness like that, then we get to crap like this. Let's go over here. Because you put up with it, right? Then we get here. Then we get politicians that defend these things. So we got all this conversation about the migrants or the illegals. To be clear, when they let MS-13 in here, they knew MS-13 was a satanically charged organization. When they let Traderagua in here, they knew that Traderagua was a satanic organization. And there's many other ones. These 2 are the ones where the names are the most prominent, right? And so when you tie it all together, here's what you get to. You get them putting people in situations like this. Illegal alien gets 25 years in prison for raping unconscious woman in Mississippi restaurant. An illegal alien already deported from the United States once was sentenced this week after pleading guilty to raping a woman in Madison County, Mississippi restaurant. And then your politicians defend this. Jose, whatever, a 37-year-old illegal alien from El Salvador was sentenced to 25 years in prison without parole on early release for raping a woman at Fernando's Mexican Grill in Madison County. This is what you get when you let that wickedness set in. All right, go to watch this. And this is what your media does. They're defending rapists. MSNBC Morning Joe defends blah, 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 drug dealer illegals, showcase on White House lawn. Give me the video. Because they might have taken a video.
Maria Teresa Kumar, before we let you go, we want to get your reaction to something that just occurred. The White House has put up about 100 posters of what they say are unauthorized immigrants who have been arrested for violent crimes. You can see them there. They put them up on the driveway of the White House. If you look here, that's the West Wing just at the forefront, the executive mansion itself to the left. But what's particularly noteworthy about this location is it is right directly behind the positions where TV correspondents do their hits from the White House lawn. So therefore, no matter what network you're on, that includes MSNBC, if you're doing a hit from the White House right now, those pictures will be behind you. The White House doing a briefing in about a half hour about what they're doing here. Maria, your response to this image.
So I have to say, one of the biggest challenges that we have with the deportations that we know of so far, for example, with Kilmer Abrego Garcia, we don't know if they've had due process. We don't know if, in fact, these individuals do have a rap sheet. So I would encourage those individuals that have that as a backshot to blur those people out. The job of journalism is to ensure that we are presenting the facts, that we are cross-referencing. We know that PolyFact actually checked the Trump administration because of an earlier picture that they released on Kilmer, recognizing that it was altered, that it was false, that they had placed gang signs, tattoos on him that weren't real. And so I would really, the press right now, we are absolutely under attack. Our job is always to have our true north, to make sure that we're presenting balanced news, and making sure that we are not putting folks that are potentially in danger. And
what is she on? Why her damn pupils so big? Why is her eyes so damn big? Let me look at the camera. My eyes that damn big? Why is the black of her eyes so damn big? Shit. She looked like something on Supernatural. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now, this warfare that we go through, or that we're going through as a nation, it's either going to be victory or it's going to be defeat. If we get to the point of defeat, you're going to look back at this time period and realize that it was a reprieve from God saying, hey, I'm giving y'all a chance to get y'all stuff together. I'm giving y'all a chance to stand up to these people. I'm giving you a chance to actually arrest these people and put them in prison. And not to worry about what man is going to say. Remember, everything that we found, every position that we found ourselves in is because of people being afraid of what other people will say about them. That's how we got here. Because everybody's afraid of what this person gonna say. That's how we got from 2019. From 2019, when all that foolishness started, everything about that attack was them getting people to say things about you. Oh, you gotta protect me. What? I'm telling you. Worrying about what people gonna say. And this media's job is to give the marching orders and give the talking points for that person that you run into to say something dumb. And you just got to tell them, hey man, that stuff you're talking is stupid. I went to go buy some flowers to plant them in the garden. And the lady says, you know, I have a friend of mine that's got dual citizenship in Germany. And you know, if this nation keeps going the way it's going, she's going to leave. I said, well, I mean, if she want to leave the nation and go to Germany, I mean, I think she should. She baited me, right? I said, I think she should. I said she should go live under German laws and all the stuff that's going on in Germany with the Islamic invasion in Germany. I said, in fact, I think everybody that don't like America should leave America and go see what it's like outside of America. That's what I personally believe. I said, but me, I love America. Do we have our problems? Yeah, we always have problems. We're going to always have problems. But I ain't going nowhere. She kind of looks. And that confused look where you rock left, rock right. Like, what manner of man is this? This is not the normal Negro. I can't give this Negro to be I can't give him to be a victim. This is not one of them victim Negroes. All right. Then she starts ringing up the stuff, take the little gun, just a little scan gun. Beep, beep. And you can see she processes. She like, let me find some other angle to get at him. Beep, beep. And she says, well, with a president like this one, there's no telling what'll happen. I love this president. Oh, you saw her eyes went boom. And it was like her brain exploded. And she couldn't process it. Because everything she's been told is that when you see somebody who looked like me with this big, beautiful, luscious skin, I need to shave. This is ridiculous. This make me look old when I got all this hair on my face. When you see this luscious, dark chocolate skin, I'm supposed to be a victim. But see, I'm not tapped into that victim system. I'm tapped in the God system. Ain't no victims in the kingdom of God. I can't do nothing but win when I'm rolling with him. No matter what happens, I'm a winner. You know what I'm saying? I'm a winner, man. I'm a winner, man. He has won my battle for me. I don't know if you ever heard that song. I'm a winner, man. I'm a winner, man. He has won my battles for me. The God of vengeance has won my battle for me. The God of miracles has won my battle for me. I'm a winner, man. I'm a winner, man. He has won my battles for me. I'm a winner, man. I'm a winner, man. He has won my battle for me. Yeah, you can't be no victim. In all these battles with these damn rank devils, he gonna win them too. If you just stand up and do what you're supposed to do.
Having that
Gone, big-eyed rank devil.
of those pictures in the background, we can't allow that to basically for us to carry the water of potentially innocent people. So I would encourage.
See, they got a problem with the faces of the people that they've been defending being on their TV network. Yeah. We can't allow our audience to see that we've been defending murderers, rapists, and pedophiles. No, we can't allow that. No. We can't have that on our network. We can't have no truth over here on MSNBC. No, truth, no. They're a bunch of damn vampires, and the truth is sunlight. Get the sunlight off me. I'm melting. I'm melting. And that's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. They start to melt when truth hits them. Yeah. Let me go back. Let's go to the next one. See, I'm going too far. But I'm going to slow it down. Watch this. Look what they say. No, let's go to, she was talking about Abrego Garcia, right? When you go digging into Abrego Garcia, watch this. Court documents reveal ex-husband of MEMS 13 members' wife fears for her children's life, warned authorities she's dating a gang member. Yeah, so she was worried about her children. Yeah. Oh, here go the court document. Oh, here goes some truth. Court document filed. Plaintiff, Edwin Triego Ramos, defendant, Jennifer Vasquez Sora, motion filed August 2018, comes now self-represented plaintiff, defendant, and moves this honorable court to set this matter for an emergency hearing of custody, visitation, support for reason as follows. So she says she's coming to protect her children. I don't want my kids around this man because he a gang member. The undersigned party is acting to safeguard her children, who are now in physical custody of Jennifer Vasquez Sora. The children are in serious danger at this time because she's trying to kill herself, and she left the kids with 11 years to take care of and I'm afraid of my ex kids live are in danger because she is dating a gang member. So there's somebody else. Hold on. Who is this? Edwin. So Edwin Trego Ramos is her baby daddy. So the baby daddy, this the baby daddy. The baby daddy. This not make sense. The baby daddy saying the party that's acting that has physical custody is Jennifer Vasquez Sora. So this Jennifer right here, right? This Jennifer baby daddy. Jennifer baby daddy is talking. He says the children are in serious danger at this time because she is trying to kill herself and she left the kids with 11-year to take care of. And I'm afraid my kids live or are in danger because she is dating a gang member. I know these facts to be true because I was there and the police were there too. Number 4, I have made the following attempts to notify Jennifer Vasquez Sora. His/her response: the court can't give you that custody of the kids because I don't know what the hell that is. This is why you got to learn how to, if you're going to come here, you got to learn English, man. You got to learn English. More from the post. Alberta Garcia and Sora, a U.S. citizen, met in 2016, according to NBC News. The couple moved together in 2018, and in June of 2019, they got married while Alberta Garcia was being held in immigration center, standing and on opposite sides of the security glass. Sora gave birth to their son a few moments later. Wow. The time of Alberto Garcia and Sora's relationship suggests a claim in a petition referred to Alberto Garcia. Both Alberto Garcia and his family have asserted he is not a member of a notorious gang. The assertion is the latest piece of evidence surfacing, allegedly linking between the 29-year-old Salvadorian national to the vicious MS-13 gang. You know, how much damn due process did all the little Negroes get that went to prison for having a little bit of crack? This thing that pissed me, if I could ever be on the news, I would just say, hey, news media, how much due process did people get for Joe Biden's crack bill? Did y'all stand up for any Negro like this? In fact, let's go further than that. When cocaine was going crazy and the little white kids was bumping coke all over the place and they got caught with coke, how much due process did they get? How much of a fuss did y'all make about them? Not a fuss at all. Democrats can kiss my hiney. Yeah, they can kiss my hiney forever and ever and ever and ever. And every time, ladies and gentlemen, you see them on the news talking crazy, I want you to remember stuff like this. I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this, because this could be any one of you. And you need to remember this. Get quitted.
Now to this, 46 minutes. That's how long it took for a Maryland jury to find illegal immigrant Victor Martinez Hernandez guilty of killing a mother of 5, Rachel Morin. Here's the Maryland prosecutor after the verdict.
It is my sincere hope that today's verdict brings some peace and closure to the entire Morin family. While no verdict or sentence can ever bring Rachel back, I am proud of the work that was done to ensure that justice was served and that Victor Martinez Hernandez will never again be a threat to another.
I want y'all to look at this. Oh, no. To the now. Press play.
Woman in his life.
Look at that man's face right there.
Well, joining us now is Randolph Rice. He's the attorney for the victim's mom, Patty. Randolph, bittersweet, right?
Yeah, Brian, good morning. You know, it was really bittersweet. This has been 19 months in the making since Rachel went for that walk and disappeared. And certainly today, while it brings some closure and some relief to the family, like the prosecutor said, it really doesn't bring back Rachel. So there's
Rachel shouldn't be dead.
The fact that Rachel's just not going to be with them for the rest of their lives.
So when you started researching this case, I mean, you had a lot going for you. But do you ever think about, well, imagine if you didn't have the evidence you had, how hard it would be to get information on this guy's past?
And the crazy thing about the Rachel Morin case, this is the girls whose mom went in front of the press and started talking about what was done to that girl. What that dude did to that woman was vicious. We talking about beating in the head with rocks, man, dragging a body across like yards.
Right now, Democrats are in the wilderness, as I point out.
Bro, I don't want y'all talking right now. I need to mute y'all because y'all just gonna keep on talking. We talking about beating a girl across the head with rocks, savagery. And the news media don't want those images on or in the background while they go and attack the White House, or while it's not even attacking the Trump, it's attacking the American people. And then people say, well, DW, that's not spiritual warfare. You a damn fool if you think it ain't. You's a fool if you think that ain't warfare. If you think this nation is not under warfare. And I'm hoping that we crush them. When I say crush, I mean utterly eviscerate and crush them. Why is this light not working? It ain't working. Crush. And that's what you see happening. I'm done. I'm done.